Hello, welcome back. And this is a continuation of elevated water tank detailing. And today we want to bolt our handrails to this member together with the checker plate and this plate here that will be sitting right on top of the checker plate. Now, I have already marked the positions of the bolts all round, and point placement should not be any problem, and placing a contour plate using a plate here should not be an issue once you've created uh, these points that defines the size of your plate, like I did here. You can see that you just create a plate using this tool here and mark the bolt's position. Now, let me just get started right away by bolting the handrail to the checker plate and to this member at the bottom end here. Now, under still, then I'll go straight to bolts. Then I'll click that drop down arrow there and pick on the first choice, bolt group. And I'll pick the components that I want to bolt together. I'll pick on that member, the checker plate, and this member here. Then I'll right click. Then I'll snap on my absolute point, then the relative point right there. So the moment I do so, I'll have my bolts in place. So I can go ahead and do the same thing here. I pick on that, pick on this, and I have a member here and I have to pick, and I'll pick on that and that also, and right click and come to that point and that point, and I'll create a bolt right there. And I'll continue like that, select on that, right click and come to that spot, and I'll create a bolt right there. I'll continue. The moment you see a hand symbol means my command is still active, so I can just go ahead and place the bolts. So I'll select this member, that member, that member, right click and come to that spot and that spot, and have my bolt in place. Pick that spot, and that one, right click, and I'll snap on that position and that. So I'll continue that way, placing my bolts and select on that and that member. I've left that one out, right click and come to that spot and that spot, and we have our bolts in place. We'll bolt this, and that, then right click and come to that position and that position. So we'll continue that way, and the reason why this is blank is because I've given it a command that I want. Maybe you don't want to see it. I've hidden the bolts in summary. Let me just right click and come back and show all, and I have my bolts in place. So if I come to bolts here and pick on that and pick the components that I want to bolt together like that, then I'll snap on that spot, and I have my bolts in place. Do the same thing all around, and I'll place that. So you can follow the same process all through. So the rest I think you can do by yourself. Now if I turn this like this and I come at the entry here, you can see I have my cage ladder entry to the platform, but you can see this handrail still blocking my entry. So I want to trim all this to create an entrance and exit at the same time. So I'll just select on that and delete, because I had previously excluded this handrail. So every member is as individual, so it's not somehow grouped together. Now I want to break this member at the center here. I'll come to edit here, then come to edit frame, then pick on break frame. I'll select this member I want to break and snap on that spot. So you can see it. I've broken that member from that end. So I want to weld this member on this to this profile, or to that member, and this to this member, just to create a protective entry for the technician or the plumber want to do something on the top on the tank here. So the handrail will be some sort of protection, maybe against the fall. Now I'll weld this to that, this and that, and weld this to this. So what do we do? I'll come to fit, a fitting tool. So under fitting tool, I'll come to edit. Under edit, I'll come to cuts, then pick on fitting. So I want to fit this member, and since I had broken it from that spot, so it's not part of this anymore. So I want to fit this member to this surface here. So I'll just snap on that surface, and that member will be fitted right there. And this one also, will be fitted the same way. So let me just finish with this. I'll select this, then I want to fit that on that end. Then I'll right click and terminate that command for me to turn it around like that, and come back again and invoke that command by clicking on that drop down arrow and pick on fitting. And I want to fit this to this, and I want also to fit this member to that member. So once I've done so, I want to weld this member together so that this and this will be shifted to or transported to site together and be assembled on site to this cage ladder. Now I'll come to steel to access the welding tool. I'll come to weld auto and pick the first option. Then I want to weld this to that. So you can see the welding has been created, and you can see this is assembly that has been created there. So I'll go ahead and to weld that, and assembly has been created. So I'll right click, or I can just go ahead to weld this and that. So if I turn this round, you'll be able to see this in place. So I'll just right click and hold on my mouse and be able to move my mouse, and to rotate that, I'll be able to rotate it conveniently. So I want to weld this to this also. I'll come to the same tool here, or auto weld, and pick the automatic tool, object welding, and I want to weld this to that. So the welding has been created. So that's how you do that. So you can see all the way from the bottom end there, we have the technician can access it all the way from the 0 level all the way to the full height of 15.6 here. Now, if I zoom close, you can see at the platform here, I have some members running across that creates a rigidity between these secondary beams here, and also provide a stable seating for our tank. So you can see this connection here, and this connection I had created I've customized this creation here, and you can see at the bottom end here I have an angle profile welded to this secondary beam and welded to the flange here, to the flange there. Then this member is welded to this. So if I select that and select an assembly, you can see this and this will be together, will be taken to site together. Let me just select an assembly right there, and if I right click and show only selected, you can see this will be shifted to site as an assembly. So if I right click and show all here, you'll be able to see have this will be assembled to this on site. So let's meet on the next presentation and show you how we can populate this connection to the rest of the horizontal bracing. This is just a bracing or to create a rigidity on top here or on the platform. So let's meet then. Bye bye.